Alrighty, it is that time. So we're going to start with a little bit of a warm-up. Again, make sure you have a stretchy strap or something similar with you nearby. I will give you options to use no straps, no props, if that is preferred. A little bit of something to think about. When you're down on your back, you want your neck to be what we would call neutral. And that's going to be a little bit of a different look for everybody. So you should feel the ridge at the back of the skull, right at the base of the skull, in contact with the floor. If your chin is up, you're going to feel that weight a little bit higher. If it's difficult for you to bring weight into the back of your head, then simply tuck a towel or a small pillow, very small pillow, underneath your skull. Make sure that your neck is nice and free. And that's going to start to adjust the posture as well, because posture is a really big thing in Pilates. All right, so we are going to start with the feet and knees bent, feet flat, and about hip width apart here. We're just going to start with a little bit of breathing. So you take a nice deep breath in through the nose. As you exhale out through the mouth. Feel all of your core muscles hug in. And we go again, inhale through the nose. Try not to let the waist move as you inhale. And exhale out through the mouth. If your hands are on your waist, just inside your hip bones, you may even be able to feel these muscles tone. It's almost like you are wearing an old-fashioned button-up vest, and you want to take all of those buttons and hug them in a little bit back towards the spine. Take 2 more breaths as you're here. We're going to keep working with this vest. And 1 more breath. All right, on the next exhale, you're going to take a little tilt of your tailbone towards the ceiling. So inhale where you are. As you exhale, the tailbone curls up. You should feel your weight shift about to the top of your waistband. See if you can do this from your muscles, though, and not just by squeezing your bum. Okay, and then as you inhale, you're going to reverse that. Make space under the low back, but try not to move the rib cage. This will be much smaller than your previous movement. Exhale, curl the tail. Weight at the back of the waistband. And inhale, arch the hips. So now you're lifting the waistband off the mat, but keeping the ribs nice and steady. We'll do that 3 more sets. Exhale, curl the tail. And inhale, arch. Try to keep the glutes nice and relaxed here. They don't have a job to do while you are down on the floor like this. Exhale, curl. And inhale, reverse. This is a little pelvic arch and pelvic tilt series. It's a great way to warm up the lower back. Exhale, tilt the tail. And inhale, arch the tail. All right, from here we're going to take it up into a baby bridge. This is just for some gentle articulation through your spine. Make sure that there's weight in your feet. And then take your exhale and start to curl your tailbone up again. You're going to let your hips peel up off the ground just a little bit. My ribs have stayed nice and heavy though. Okay, so just my pelvis and waistband is lifting up. And then I'm going to push my knees forward and try to stretch my spine a little bit longer as I come down. So I'm landing my hips slightly closer to my feet. Doing that again. Exhale, curl the tail. Just a little. Pull the hips forward. Drag your spine down. And relax. Good. We're going to do that 3 more times. Make sure that the buttons of your vest stay nice and tidy and tucked in. Exhale, curl the tail. Drag it forward. You'll feel the backs of your legs engage there. Watch out for hamstring cramps. Lower back down. 2 more sets. Exhale, curl. Really use your exhale to squeeze all the air out of the waist. It will help your core muscles engage. Drag the hips forward. Bone by bone, lowering down. 1 more time. Exhale, curl the tail. And or to come down. Very nice. Okay, so we are going to roll onto your side. You can have a block or a pillow to tuck under your head here. Yeah, you could also just tuck your arm, put it straight under your head. That would be fine too. The knees are going to bend and come forward. And if you would like a little bit of extra, you're going to twist tie the top leg around the bottom leg. This is one of my favorite warm-ups for golf. I know golf season has begun, so it's nice to toss in a couple of stretches that will benefit that as well. So I'm going to take my top arm straight out in front of me. If my bottom arm is free to do so, it's going to go right underneath that. I'm going to twist my arm and my chest back behind me. Okay, and then bring the arm forward. Try to keep your arm straight as you go. I'm in a little bit of a limited space, so I'm going to bend it. If you're in a limited space, you can likewise bend it. And then bring it forward. And go 3 more times. Really think of your chest trying to twist. So your shoulder blades are trying to get back towards the ground rather than your arm getting really far behind you. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you close. 1 more time. My shoulder blade, top shoulder blade is trying to go back. And my knees stay nice and grounded here. All right, you could roll to your other side. I'm going to flip my head so I can still see you. You could also do this one in bed. I am a very lazy Pilates person sometimes. So I like stretches that I can do when I first wake up and also before I go to sleep. Okay, hands stacked, top leg can twist around the bottom leg if you would like. If that pushes your knees too far away from your chest though, make sure that you just keep the knees stacked. I'm going to take the top arm, twist it back, turn the shoulders, turn the head. Inhale here. Exhale as you bring it forward. Remember, you can always bend the arm as it goes back. Just try to keep the upper arm in line with the chest. Inhale, open, and exhale, close. Inhale, open, and exhale, close. You will actually get about 10 degrees more rotation if you turn your eyeballs before you turn your face and your chest. Little sneaky trick. Our eye muscles are connected to the rest of us. We don't often work them though. And exhale forward. Good job. All right, I'm going to come back to my first side. I'm going to take one more little stretch. You can get rid of your head cushion if you have one. Okay, we're going to take one knee to the chest. Curl into your upper abs like we do for hundreds. So my head and shoulders are lifting up. My knee and nose are trying to touch. Here I'm letting my hips tuck up a little bit just for the extra stretch in the back. Make sure the elbows and chest are wide. Relax through the neck. Think of the top of the head reaching to the ceiling. And then lower everything down. We'll go to the other side. The knee hugs to the chest. You can likewise hold the back of your leg if you prefer. Elbows wide. Curl down through the ribs, up through the head and shoulders. Try to keep both hips level. Nice deep breaths into the back. Think of poofing your back out or making it wider or feeling your back ribs move as you're here. And back down. All right, so we're heading into your 100s. If your neck is feeling sensitive at all, you can tuck something under your head and leave your head down, which is kind of a nice way to go. My neck is a little bit tight today, so this is actually the way I'm going to do it, at least for part of it. You could likewise just rest your head on the floor if it starts to get tight or tired. These muscles in the neck do get stronger the more you do Pilates, but it does take some getting used to, and it's okay. It's actually better to rest rather than stressing your neck out. Okay, you're going to draw your buttons of your vest together and in, so there's nice strength and tone through the front of your core. Reach the arms long by your sides and bring one knee up to tabletop. Make sure that the shin is parallel to the ceiling and the knee is about an arm's length away. Bring the other leg up to join it. Squeeze your legs together. Take an inhale where you are. And if you are lifting or starting with your head and shoulders lifted, you're going to exhale, rock the ribs down, and lift the chest forward. From here, we're going to move the arms up and down. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I said, it is totally fine to keep the head down. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, you do want to keep the core drawn in nice and tight. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. And exhale. Now, for those of you who've been doing Pilates a lot, you can try taking one leg straight. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice it's not down by the floor. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to keep the core drawn in nice and strong. Let's change. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. If you've had enough of a break with your neck, you can always bring it back up here too. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last breath here. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's bend both knees to the chest. Turn your head slowly side to side, pressing back through that occipital ridge, that bump in the back of the skull. For something that lasts about 60 seconds, hundreds is often the thing that most people dread for Pilates class. All right, so I'm going to set my block to the side. Then roll to your side and come up to sitting. And then we're going to do a half roll up followed by some negative roll ups. I like working negative sometimes because it helps us bridge the gap in strength between where we are currently working and sometimes where we're trying to get. So I'm going to have my feet and knees about hip width apart. Your toes can be down or they can be flexed up. Either way is fine with me. Okay, whichever way you choose, imagine dragging the heels back towards you. So my hands are very lightly touching the backs of my thighs here. I'm going to sit with my tailbone tucked under so that my lower back is round. Take an inhale and begin to round your low back farther. Make sure it's not just your chest, head, and shoulders going back. I go until my feet start to lift or until my arms are straight. Exhale, hug your buttons together on your vest and curl forward. You're going to do that again. Round the waistband back, tuck the tail under, nice inhale. Vest buttons are drawn in. Exhale. Really easy when we exhale and come forward to pop the buttons off the vest. Inhale, roll it back. If you're feeling good, you can float the arms. Make sure those feet don't lift. Exhale, scoop the core in and curl forward. Your neck should remain nice and free. Inhale, bring it back. And exhale, scoop the core and come forward. So you can start going a little bit farther, provided it doesn't feel uncomfortable and you don't fall back. We want to still be able to come up off the floor. And come up. Nice. Take a little break. So working the negatives, we're actually going to go all the way down. We'll use a different way to come up. The way to come up can be a little bit more challenging. Please take your time with it. Don't worry if it doesn't happen for you today. We're starting to offer more challenging movements in our Pilates classes as you become more comfortable and advance. So I'm going to start with my feet again, about hip width apart, toes down if you can, but you can always reflex them. Arms float forward, unless you need to grab your legs, that's okay. I'm going to tuck the tail under, roll back, keep the shoulders away from the ears. This time we're going all the way down with as much control as you can. I'm going to take the knees, bend them to the chest. Fingers are holding kind of the outside tendon in the back of my leg. I'm going to push the feet away and down and let the weight of my legs very slowly bring me up. Now, I'm not going to lie, I learned this version after I was a Pilates teacher for a very long time, and it still took me about 3 months to be able to tip all the way up. So if you get stuck down here, totally fine. You're going to give it a try. You're not going to rock your body. We don't want to use momentum. Let's say you get stuck about here. You keep trying. You're almost there, but not quite. Let go. Hold one leg. Push it away to come up, all right? So If you're doing that version, it's going to be a little bit self-guided. I'm going to talk through the double leg version. We'll do that a few more times. It's a great way to really build some solid strength for your core. So we're floating the arms, rolling the spine back. You can think of one button in the vest coming down at a time with as much control as you can. I'm going to bend the knees, holding the outside tendons in the back of my thigh. Push the feet away and down. Down is important. If they go out, they will push your face back to the mat. And I tip up. Separate the feet. Let's go 2 more times. Draw the tail under. Nice and hollow through your core. Knees come in. Hands go to the backs of the thighs. Feet push away and down. Elbows are wide. Peel through your spine. Let gravity help. All right, separate the feet. Last time like this. Roll it back. This is a lot harder than it looks. If you are struggling, you're not alone. Knees come in, one at a time. Push the feet away and down. Let gravity help you tip up. All right, so wherever you got with it, congratulations. It's actually a really tough one, not just physically, but mentally, because we really love to force that position. We're gonna grab your stretchy band now. Put it around your feet. Feet are ideally together, but if you have any problems with your lower back, let them go apart a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna have one tail on each hand. I'm gonna start by sitting behind my tailbone. Curl the chest over. So from the side, you should look like a C or a capital C shape. We're gonna start to roll the spine back. Same action you just did. It's a little bit different with straight legs though. You will feel that it's harder to bend in the back, which is why we do the bent legs first. Okay, you come all the way down. From here, curl the head up. Now, if you don't have a stretchy strap at home, just keep doing one of the 2 versions we were practicing a moment ago with the legs bent. Okay, otherwise, I'm going to peel my spine, keep my buttons tucked in tight, and curl my head to my lap. Roll it back again, tail tucks. These are really very deceptive because most people think that when they go faster, they're doing them more advanced. The slower you go for these, the harder they become. Curl the head. Big exhale. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Tuck the chin a little bit up into the throat. You should feel a stretch more in your back than your legs, but if your legs are tight, you might feel a stretch in your legs as well. If you're a little more advanced and you're able to add more things to think about, as you roll up, try to feel weight on both sides of the rib cage, spine, and pelvis equally. This is our last time up. Keep the chest wide and the chin pulled back towards the throat as you roll on down. Very nice. I know it's a little bit of a longer series today. I'm going to set my stretchy strap within reach and we'll start with our tree stretches. So bring your right leg into your chest, straighten your left leg on the floor. Try to make sure your hips are square. You can just give that leg a little hug in. You can twirl it around slightly, but try to keep your hips and your shoulders and torso nice and stationary here. Take the hands, lace them to the back of the thigh, and then we're going to point the toes and lift the leg up. You want to keep the knee close to the chest, flex the heel, and lower down. So I actually can pull my knee in a little closer. I cheated that first one. Sorry, guys. Okay, you're going to bring the knee as close to the body as you can. Use your arms to help. Elbows are wide. Point the toes, lift the foot. Now you'll notice my leg gets far less straight. That's okay. Flex the heel and lower down. Inhale, point to lift. Exhale, flex to lower. Not everybody feels a stretch when they do this. If you're feeling your sciatic nerve pathway stretch, you'll feel something down the leg, possibly to the calf. We're going to do 2 more times. Sometimes hugging the knee in this close, you'll feel a pinchy feeling in the front of the hip. That's actually a stretch as well. Inhale up and flex to exhale. All right, we're going to point the toes, lift the leg, let it straighten away from your chest this time. Curl the head and shoulders up. Try to keep your quads really engaged here so the knee is as straight as possible. Take the hands about to the calf unless that's too far for you to reach. Pull the leg a little bit towards you and a little bit away from you. This is a great place to see if the hips are square and the core is pushing out or pulling in. We want it to pull in all the time in Pilates. 2 more times toward you with the leg and away. 1 more time toward you with the leg and away. That is the end of our tree series. You're going to add your stretchy strap around the foot. Now, if you don't have a strap, that's okay. You're going to keep this knee fairly bent, and you're going to draw circles with your knee. The name of the game for this one is really keeping the torso stationary. So you can imagine from hip to hip and shoulder to shoulder that you've set your body down in cement that is almost dried. I'm going to take my right leg, since it's strapped, elbows in by my sides, 1 tail in each hand. I'm going to push my leg away and down so that I can really make that leg long. That should give your core a little extra space. I'm going to cross it to the left, leaving the right hip down, working hip down. Half circle the leg back into its own lane and lift the leg up. Pushing the band out as I lift will ensure I'm using all the right muscles. Cross over as you inhale. Exhale, half circle and lift. Inhale, cross. Exhale, lift. Enjoy that nice outer hip stretch. Your right waist will have to pull back towards the floor to keep your torso from twisting with the leg. Inhale and exhale. Once you come to the top, pause. All Pilates circles start and end at the top. We're going to lower the leg down in its own lane, cross it over and lift. So we're reversing your circle. Watch out for bending the knee as you cross and lift. If you're keeping it bent throughout, that's okay. We just tend to bend it a little extra because it tells us we're going bigger. Bigger isn't necessarily better here. Okay, check in on your buttons. Make sure your buttons are hugged in tight on the front of the core. 1 more circle. Inhale down. Exhale across and up. All right, we're going to take the band, set it to the side, bend the knee. This time the hips can lift. You're trying to keep both shoulders on the floor as the pelvis twists. That free hand is welcome to go onto your hip and give it a little push towards the foot of your mat just to get more stretch if you would like. Try to keep the right knee close to the body, close to the face. Alrighty, coming back to center. Square yourself on the mat if you need to. Straighten the right leg on the floor and hug the left leg in. You can hold anywhere on that leg that feels comfortable. You can keep it still or you can stir it around, trying to keep the torso nice and stationary as you move that leg though. Nice deep breaths into the body. Breathing deeply will actually help you in Pilates. Helps you in just about any sport, actually. Take the hands, lace them to the back of the thigh. Hug the knee into the chest as close as it can go. And then slowly point the toes and lift the foot. The knee stays to the chest. Flex the heel hard and lower back down. So this is the start of your tree stretches. It's the sciatic nerve glide. Flex and lower. Try to keep the left hip from hiking towards your left shoulder. We want to lengthen both hips the same amount. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale up, flex and exhale down. 1 more time. Inhale up. The harder you flex, the more you can get at that sciatic nerve area. All right, I'm going to point the toes, lift the leg. Let the leg move away from me as straight as possible. So quads nice and engaged, core always engaged. Curl the head and shoulders up using your abdominals. Check that your hips are square, and then bring your hands to your calf if you can reach. Pull the leg a little bit towards you without it bending more. Press it away from you. So if you can use the leg to press away throughout, it's kind of counterintuitive, but it will give you a really nice balanced stretch. 2 more times. 1 more time. Push it away. And now we're going to add the strap, or you're just going to keep that knee in a tabletop position and circle from your knee. It's really good to get full range of motion in the hip joint like this. Our bodies are very much use it or lose it. Elbows come down by your sides. Take the leg, stretch it lower so that it can go really straight and long. Okay, we're going to take the leg, leaving the hip down, cross it to the opposite side. Exhale, bring it back to its own lane and lift. Inhale, cross. Exhale to lift. Inhale, cross. Just to give you an idea of how that exhale should be, you should almost make a little sound. It's going to be very quiet. It's not the same as yoga sounds, but you want to think of making that H sound to engage the core a little more. Inhale, cross. Exhale. Pause at the top. Keep the leg nice and long, and let's reverse. You're going to go down in your own lane, cross it to the right lane, and lift. Remember, length is your friend here. Inhale, down. Exhale, cross over. Use your left waist to keep the hip on the mat. Inhale, down. Exhale, cross over. Nothing in your torso should be shifting or changing. It's just that leg moving around. 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. Pause at the top. Bend the knee. Set your band to the side and use the opposite hand to come into a twist. Both shoulders remain on the floor here. Generally with the twist, you're either going to have your knees and legs down or your shoulders down. It's the way that you get the best twist possible. You can take this hand, use it to push the hip a little longer if your hip is hiked up. Lots of length in the back today. All right, come back to center. You can always roll to your side to come up to sitting. That is always okay. Or if you'd like something a little more challenging, similar to how we did our roll-ups today, you're going to hold one leg, push the leg away and down, and slowly use it to tip up to sitting. All right, rolling like a ball is next. So I'm going to bring the sides of my feet together, not the soles, just the sides. So if I were wearing shoes, my shoes would still be flat on the floor. I'm going to take my hands to the backs of my legs and have a little bit of space between my knees, about shoulder width apart between my knees, so that my head someday can go there. I don't fit that way very well. Some people do. Elbows go out to the sides. Tuck the tail under like you're rolling your waistband back. See if you can use that hip tuck to find your balance in this shape. It's fine to keep this shape. If you would like to add on, make it a little bit harder. You're going to roll just your low back on the floor and then come back up. Now I used a little bit too much oomph there, so I had to catch myself with my toes. You can always squeeze your glutes to act like brakes as you come up. Let's go back again. Navel draws back. Exhale to come up. Good. We're going to go 6 more times. Inhale back. Exhale up. Inhale back. Exhale up. It's okay if you have to work for it. Inhale back. Exhale up. Inhale back. Exhale up. 2 more times. Try to keep your buttons on your vest from popping off. Shoulders wide. And up. All right. You can bring your feet down. Adjust your hips back a little bit. And then we're going to go into the ab series today. We're going to try to do the first 3 together and then the last 2 together. If you need to at any point, you can rest your head down on a block. It's going to change what we call your working range of motion. So it's going to change how low your legs get to go. If your head is down, keep your legs and arms straight up to the ceiling. If your head is curled up, you will have the support from your core for your back so that you can take your legs a little bit lower. All right, so I am going to hold my right leg, right hand to the ankle, left hand to the knee. If that gets confusing, just stack them. That's okay. Takes a while to get the hands down. All right, I'm going to roll myself back, keeping my head up, and then take my left leg so that it's straight and about halfway down. Be sure that your right heel is the same height as your knee in that tabletop position, elbows wide. Inhale here, change legs, exhale. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. Hold the left leg, bring both legs in. Arms and legs go up for double leg stretch. Open the arms, hug the legs in. Inhale up, open the arms, exhale, hug. 3 more times, hug your buttons back as the limbs go up. 2 more. And 1 more. 1 more exercise before you get a break. Legs go straight. Grab your right leg with both hands. Let the left leg go partway down. Inhale, change, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Both hands let go at the same time. Imagine bringing your leg to meet your hands. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Very good. Legs together. Bend your knees, lower down. Keep your legs hugged in. You're welcome to turn your head a little side to side to release through the neck. Deep breaths in. Now here's another option. If you're feeling kind of tired from what you've done so far, it's totally fine to take a break for the next 2 ab series exercises. You want to get the first 3 really solidly down before you add on. So it's okay if you need to take a rest right now. You can just take a quick stretch. Okay, for the last 2, I'm going to take my fingers laced behind my skull, not my neck. Elbows nice and narrow so that the back is wide. It's going to give you the best chance to pull your buttons toward your spine. Make sure your legs are starting in tabletop. Curl the head and shoulders up and reach the elbows straight towards the ceiling. You're going to take the legs high. They can stay a little bit bent, that's fine. And then lower the legs about 3 inches. Pull your buttons down to lift the legs up. Inhale down. This is your double leg stretch. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. My back is not shifting at all. That tells me I can go this low. 1 more time. Now bend your right knee. Elbows stay narrow. Take both elbows like they're shining a light on your right foot. Change sides. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more each side. 1 more. And come on down. Ooh, it's always a lot of work to do that series. And it should be. The only difference is, as you get more comfortable, you can cross one ankle over the opposite knee. As you get more comfortable with ab series, it just feels more efficient. It feels like it can be done with more ease. It's not easier, but it has more ease to it. All right, change legs. You can take any simple stretch here that you would like. That includes the I'm not moving for a minute stretch. I actually have a lot of students who take that option. They just go here and they rest their bodies. That's fine. When it comes down to it, you are the person who knows your body the best. Okay, so you can roll to the side to come up to sitting, or you can hold your leg. Either way. And we're coming to spine stretch forward. So for our spine stretch forward, the feet are going outside the width of your mat. If you feel like your hips right in the crease is just grabbed, I want you to sit yourself up on a block or a chair or a couch. Any of those things are fine. Whatever will put the emphasis on your spine though, rather than your hips. We don't want your hips to be the main event here. So arms come out in front of you. If your shoulders are feeling kind of snaky, turn your palms up. It will help. Tall inhale, pull your buttons in, nice and hollow through your core. As you exhale, nod the head. Keep the chin up into the throat and round your head towards your lap. We're looking for a nice spinal stretch. You can see I'm not going very far towards my feet. And then scoop the buttons in and roll up tall. Okay, take a tall inhale. We're going to start to flow. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale up. Keep the feet flexed. Exhale down. And inhale up. Exhale down. And inhale up. I'm right on the squeak in my floor again. 2 more times. Exhale down. Little bit of space between the chin and the chest. Almost like you have a ripe peach there. You don't want to squash it. Last time. And up. Very nice. All right, so hopefully that's feeling okay. We're going to change it up to an exercise called saw. So saw, the legs are going to be in the same kind of width. I'm turning so that you can see what my upper body is doing. I'm going to twist just the upper body for this. So the legs stay entirely still. You're welcome to stay sitting on an elevated surface. Okay, the arms go out. They're still a little bit in front of the body because the shoulder joint is actually a little bit in front of your body. Okay, arms are to the sides, nice and wide across the chest and across the back. Take an inhale where you are, flex the toes, twist tall to your right, and then as you exhale, curl your head down over that leg and reach the hands apart. My back pinky finger is to the ceiling. Inhale up tall, twist tall, just a chest twist, and then exhale, bring the arms across. Keep the shoulders out of the ears, back pinky finger to the ceiling. Inhale tall. Your feet should feel completely stable. Exhale, twist. So my feet aren't sliding at all here. Inhale, toe. Exhale, twist. Inhale, toe. One more each way. Check in on those buttons in the front of the vest. Exhale. Inhale, toe. Last one, and exhale. Inhale up tall. Exhale, lower the arms to complete that repetition. Okay, so we're going to play with a little more balance work. That also means that if you fall backwards by accident, it's totally okay. Sides of the feet are together, knees are a little bit apart, just like we did for our rolling like a ball. I'm going to sit back behind my bum. Easiest way, honestly, to find that is to scoot your hips a little bit forward so that your bones are set up to find that nice position. All right, I'm going to take my toes, drag them in, keep my hips rounded under until I can pick up my feet and find my balance. My knees stay a little bit apart and my elbows are wide here. Keep the buttons of your vest nice and stable. See if you can lift one foot up. It does not have to go straight. The straighter you go, the harder it is. And then bring it down so the toes touch, but the knees are still apart. We'll go the other way. Draw the buttons of your vest back first. And exhale as you slowly lower. The slower you go, the harder this is to keep your balance. Inhale, right leg. It's called open leg balance. Exhale down. Inhale, left leg. And exhale down. Let's try for both legs. You can stick with a single leg though. That's fine. Inhale up. Exhale down. Keep the chest and shoulders free. Inhale up. Exhale down. Feet touch once they end their movement. Inhale up. Let's stay here. Big exhale. Keep your balance. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let your legs have a little bit of weight into the hands to help. Not a lot, just enough to help you balance your core. And exhale. We're going to bring those feet back down. Nice job. Sometimes staying still is harder than moving. All right, flipping on over to your front side. I like to take a little break while I'm here. I will often prop up on my elbows. Just let the hips and the lower back relax. If that feels too intense, you can come down so that your head is down on your hands and you can sway your feet side to side a little. These are all just really nice options, transitioning from sitting up to being down. We have worked with the hips a little bit, so we want the hips to open up before we add extra. If you're able to, walk the feet so that they are together for our swan. If your low back feels uncomfortable here, or you have any long-term low back issues, separate your feet a little bit. Don't go super wide, but they can be about hip width apart to help. I'm going to take the hands back by the shoulders and let the forehead come down to the ground. All right, start by dragging a little bit back through the hands. Bring your chin up to make a double chin, and then look at the front of your mat with your eyes. So not really far forward, just along back of the neck. From here, think of dragging the chest towards the front of your mat. You can see I haven't actually lifted higher, I have just bent more, right at the bottom of the shoulder blades. Keep the shoulders back, and then lower your face down slowly. You're going to use your glutes to keep your hips pressing firmly down, and we'll do that again. Double chin until your head is looking slightly at the front of your mat. Bring the shoulders away from the floor. Drag your arms back and your chest forward. Still engage through the glutes, still engage through the core. And then exhale, lower, forward, and down. One more time like that, double chin. Roll the shoulders back, drag the chest forward. Glutes and core engaged. And then lower back down. All right, you can come back to child's pose. We're not staying there super long. Generally, knees together, feet together in child's pose, but if you need to flex your feet, you can do that too. If your arms are comfortable, walk them forward. Enjoy that stretch through your shoulders and your back. We'll come back out. This time the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Take a quick peek at your arms. Make sure that your arms are parallel to the long edge of your mat rather than letting the fists steeple together. I'm going to bring, again, the knees together. If you can always choose to go hip width apart. That is fine. Okay, you'll notice here you're in a little more of a back bend, so draw your buttons towards your spine. They're really going to be long rather than rounding. Okay, so keep the front of your core long, glutes engaged, and we're going to take the right leg, kick it towards your bum. You can have a flexed or relaxed foot as well as a pointed foot. It does not matter. Squeeze that hamstring a little harder, bring the leg closer, and then lower down. Neck stays long. Left leg kicks, and then squeeze it a little closer and down. So a little squeeze at the end is designed to give you what's called end range engagement. End range engagement should be a little bit harder than the rest of the exercise. Keep the hamstrings engaged and the hips engaged and the core engaged. Everything active. Nothing gets to check out here. Okay, check that the pelvis remains level as you kick in. We don't want the hips to rock. Left leg. One more each side, right leg. And left leg. All right, that is your single leg kick. You can come back into that child's pose stretch again. Arms as straight as possible. You can even walk them over to one side, get a nice little side body stretch there. Walk them over to the other side. And come back to center. All right, we're flipping onto your back for your real shoulder bridge. I know we warmed up with a shoulder bridge at the start. You want your heels to be forward underneath your knees. Hips are nice and square, legs are hip width apart. Okay, arms can cup down by your sides, and if you have a mat that you're doing your Pilates on this morning, you can grab the edges and push the mat forward. You can see that engages my shoulders very nicely. It actually lengthens my spine. It's one of my nice little favorite Pilates tricks. I use it in yoga sometimes too. All right, so from here, we're gonna start by tucking the tail towards the ceiling. This should feel very different than when we did it as a warm-up. Okay, breathe into the back of the body and begin to curl your tail up. My ribs are remaining on the floor, so this is all about hip extension. That means your glutes and your hamstrings should be fired up. Okay, push the knees forward and slowly start to round your spine down all the way to the floor. Okay, we're going to do that again. Curl the tail, engage the core. We have a helper this morning. Hi. And then slowly push the legs forward. Articulate the spine back down, bone by bone. All right, one more time, just like this. And then we're going to make it a little more challenging. Roll the tail on up. Okay, make sure that the ribs are down. We want this weight here to help us when we add on. And then exhale, push the legs forward, push the arms forward, lengthening the spine. Okay, if you are using the edge of a mat, I wouldn't hold it for our next part. Try to do all of that engagement through your core just the same though. We're going to roll the hips up. Ribs are tucking down. I'm engaging right under my ribs. I'm going to take my right leg, bring the knee up to a tabletop position. Hold it there. Keep your floor leg pressing down nice and strong. Put the foot down. It's actually pretty hard to do. Hip stays square. Strong on your right hip. Lift your left leg. Keep the ribs tucked. All your buttons hugging towards center. Bring it down. Let's do that one more on each side. Option, if you're feeling pretty good, to straighten that leg up or go a little straighter. It will add some extra gravity. Keep the ribs in, the buttons together. Lower that foot. Other side, almost done with these guys. Strong right leg. Option to lift. Bend that knee. Both feet down. Nice articulation down. That should feel much easier now compared to all the other things. All right, take a little twist, little windshield wiper through the legs. I think next week we are going to add the kicks to those. This is where I always joke, nobody comes to class the next week once they know what the harder thing is. That's okay. I will still be here. Okay, so roll onto your side. We're going to do some side kicks. Just a short side kick series today. Our focus has been on other things. So you're going to prop up with your bottom elbow. Let's make it your left elbow in the back corner of your mat. Your hips should likewise be against the back of the mat. I'd like to take my hand back here to feel. That just ensures that from elbow through hips, we are all one line. It's really important for alignment. Make a fist with your top hand and block the front of your pelvis with that fist. You can always rest your arm and rest your head if that feels like too much in the shoulder or the neck. I'm going to straighten my legs now, both legs the same length, keeping my fist blocking my hips. Take the top leg to hip height, it's not as high as you think, and bring the leg forward. If you want to get a little fancy, flex the foot. Point the toes as they go behind. Nothing in the torso moves. So we're back to that idea of working range of motion. Where can you go in this position while keeping your torso entirely still? Inhale, flex. Can add a little pulse. Exhale, point. You can add a little pulse. If you're doing that little extra squeeze, that in-range squeeze, it comes from the place closest to the core, not the foot, not the knee. Inhale, front. Exhale, back. Make sure your bottom shoulder is pressing down. Front. And exhale, back. All right, let's bend the knees today. Heels back along the back edge of your mat. We're going to take the top knee, rotate it to the ceiling. Now, my hips are kind of sneaky here. I'd like to put my hand behind just to ensure that I'm not leaning my top hip back. You may or may not have done these elsewhere in your life. They are very popular in physical therapy, but they're also very good for activating the muscles in the sides of the hips. We're going to use this in a second. You're going to stay open with your knee. Don't let your knee change. Kick your legs straight and bend. I'm putting my hand here just to self-spot. You can do that. Totally fine. You do not have to. You should start to feel a little bit of a burn in the back of the hip though, just by keeping your upper thigh stable. Very nice. Toes together, knees come down. All right, we're gonna roll face down, hands under the forehead, heels together, toes apart in your Pilates V. It's like a little baby ballerina position through the legs. Lift your legs. Keep your back supported by squeezing your glutes and engaging your core. And then you're going to open and close your feet, clapping your inner thighs. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Good. Lower your legs down. You can roll over to your other side if you would prefer. Again, I'm going to turn so I can keep facing you. Right elbow in the back edge of the mat. You can rest your head if you prefer, that is fine. Okay, feet come forward, hips are against the back edge as well. I'm not quite there. Top hand makes a fist and blocks your pelvis. Be sure your top leg is equal in length with your bottom leg. Float the leg up about hip height. If you want to get fancy, flex it to bring it forward and point it to take it back. Inhale, front. Exhale, back. Inhale, front. Keep the bottom shoulder pressing into the floor. Bottom leg too, so it's active. You can add that little pulse from your core if you would like. And back. Very nice. All right, we are going to bend the knees, bring them back. You can switch your hand to behind your hips to keep them stacked if you'd like. Top knee opens to the ceiling and back down. Sometimes, honestly, I will do these clams and the kicks that we do afterwards with my back against a wall. It's very interesting. We love to shift our shoulders and our pelvis. Even if you've been doing Pilates as long as I have, I still find lots of ways that my body tries to cheat. Up and down. All right, we're going to go up and stay. The knee stays in place. Straighten the shin out. Lower it down. You can always try to turn the knee to the ceiling a little more, provided it's not from your hips leaning back. Inhale up. Nice little squeeze in the back of the hip. Inhale up. Exhale down. Bring the knees down. Very nice. We're going to take a little pigeon stretch. Cross one ankle over the opposite knee. Hug the legs in. You'll be able to feel some of that work that we just did in the back of the hip. You can rock them if you would like. Taking these moments where we're breathing and just rocking and stretching helps the nervous system respond to all of this, helps us reduce inflammation, helps our bodies recover better after a workout. So it might seem counterintuitive, but taking little breaks can really help. It can also progress you much faster. If you did not change legs with me, please change legs. All right, so we are going to do our last exercise. You can hold a leg to come up to sitting or roll to your side. If you've been holding the same leg to come up to sitting, try changing it. It's often a very different experience. Push the leg away and down, using the core to help. And then bring the sides of your feet together, knees a little bit apart. Take your hands, crochet them between your legs first, and then around your shins. Okay, make sure that you do not have anything behind you that you can hit as you roll back. You're going to round your tail under, pick up your feet, and find your balance. Now this can be enough. Just like our open leg balance where you're straightening a leg was enough, this can be enough here. So if you feel like this is where you want to stay, totally fine. If you would like to add on for our seal, you're going to open and close the legs, 3 big claps. I'm going to move a little bit forward and then rock back and rock up. Much harder because the arms are crocheted through the legs to come back up. You can add a clap to 3 claps as you go back. It really ends up looking like you're just clapping all the way through, which is fine. Ooh, see? Not every time do I come up either. It's okay. Don't freak out if you don't come up. You just rock until you do. Using that exhale before you come up will help. 2 more times. Last one. Find your balance and release the legs. Good job. All right, so that is our Pilates workout for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful week. See you next week, guys.